بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن My dear brothers and sisters, this subject is known to all of us. Even your mom and dad, when they were young boys and girls, they had peer pressure group. There are so many varieties of peer pressure group. Either the peer pressure group is from your national identity, from where you came, or from outside. Peer pressure group could be on any capacity, morally, food, even dress. People look at you, even your outlook, you look a little bit different. You speak English with foreign accent. Some of us, they speak foreign accent. Like a young boy was told when you come to America, he said, what is the best food I should eat? They told him hamburger. So he felt happy. When he reached JF Kennedy Airport and he went to the restaurant on the airport, he went to the restaurant and she gave him the menu. He saw hamburger. He felt happy. That is what they told me to eat. So when the lady came, sir, what do you want? He said, hamburger. She said, what? He said, ma'am, it's hamburger. He said, what? Third time, New Yorkers, they don't understand the foreign accent. Third time, hamburgers. I told you hamburger I want. She said, there is nothing. Is it part of the menu? He said, yes, come and see. He pointed out his finger. She looked at him and she said, sir, this is not hamburger. This is hamburger. You know, foreign students, when they come here and lady talk to them, blood flush in his face. Blood flush in his face. He felt intimidated. He said, ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm a stranger. Hamburger, stranger. He thought every G-E-R is, hamburger means stranger. That's also peer pressure group or pressure group, not peer pressure group. So we look differently, and many times people talk to me, they say, from where are you? Even up till now. I said, I'm from Chicago. He said, no, we want to know from where you are. I said, what do you want me? Well, how about you? So everybody has a foreign. Then I tell him, does it matter? I speak 3 languages. You think I speak with a foreign accent? He said, yes. I said, because I speak French, I speak Arabic, I speak English. How many languages you speak? Oh, I'm sorry, it's 1 language. So you turn him down. See? Now, almost all of us speak minimum 2 languages. Yes or no? Except some of us 3, 4, 5. And Tariq, how many languages you speak? What is Tariq? Raise your voice. So you be proud. Whoever say, are you foreigner? You look foreigner. Say, no, everybody is foreigner. So peer pressure group could be much more than that. I'm trying to take the easy and then take the maximum. The easy one is what I'm talking about. Oh, you eat biryani? What is this biryani? They say like that. Say, come and eat. And let them taste the biryani. They will tell you, I wish I can eat it every day. You Arabs, what do you eat? Oh, wallahi, falafel, ta'miyya. What is falafel, ta'miyya? They say, oh, this is an Israeli food. No, this is Egyptian food. Sure, yes. We Egyptians are way ahead of the Israeli. Israeli just recently came and lived in us. We taught them how to make ta'miyya. You see, you have to be proud of your heritage, your food, your custom, your dress, and whatnot. Without that, why? Who cares? I don't care for people to love me or to hate me. I love that Allah knows them. Now, everybody wants to be the best in the school, yes or no? Is there anyone who wants to be a dropout? Hasib, what is Hasib? You want to be dropout? Mateen, do you want to get A's or B's or C's? You prefer to get what? It's unique. Nobody can get A's. The same thing, you as a Muslim, nobody can get the good credit from Allah unless you are good, honest, sincere. I don't care for pressure group. Let's go now to the higher level of pressure group, which you don't want to ask about it, but I'll break the ice with you. The most pressure group is that boys and girls is to have dancing party. Would you go to dancing party, Omar? Omar. Not the small Omar, the tall Omar. Not that Omar, this Omar. Why? Dancing party. You may go, but don't tell mom and dad. And then you come and say, no, I didn't do it. But Allah saw you, Allah show you. So therefore, yes.
What if mom and dad don't care?
If mom and dad say, okay, bring them to me. I'll try to teach them a lesson. Okay? I know there are some dads and mom, they do dancing, so don't worry. That's the bad part about it. If mom and dad do dance in public, that's the worst calamity for you. So send them to me or to Dr. Marwat, and then we'll teach them a lesson that they should not have dancing parties, men and women, at all. Huh? Not in public, not in private. Huh? That is for shaitan. How about if you are to graduate? How many have graduated from high school? Okay, 1, 2, 3. You were invited. You were also graduate. Yes, it's good. I'm sure you have been invited to have what? Prom? Yes or no? Prom. What is prom? I never knew what is prom. I had to ask the boys and girls, what is prom? Would you tell us more about prom? What is prom? Mateen, come and say. Huh? Come and tell us. Whether you attend or not, that's immaterial to me. What does it mean, definition, a prom? Come and say it here.
I'll say it loudly. It's a big elaborate dance that
Between
high school youth, usually juniors and seniors.
boys together, girls together?
Boys and girls together.
Okay. Now, when you are being invited and you are going to graduate and having a party for dancing, the senior and the junior, in a hotel or on the ship, on the boat, and you come either midnight or come early morning, second day. You know what does it mean? We have a case study in our city in California for prom, and they had dancing and drinking, and one of the American girls refused to have sex with the boy in the hotel. You know what he did with her? He went and brought the gun and shot her, and she died. Because she went and allowed herself to dance but not to have sex. And therefore, don't allow yourself to be pressured by your boys and girls around you, even if their names are Muslims and even their fathers and mothers allow. Say, me, no. Why no? I do it. No. How? I'm a Muslim, I do it. How come you don't do it? There are crazy Muslims in different masajid. They say, even a president of a Muslim center, president of a masjid, he said, it's okay, you father, mother, you go and then chaperone them. Moms, how many moms here are? 1, 2, 3? Huh? Would you like to go to a dancing party where boys and girls are dancing and you chaperone them? Yeah, they are dancing. What chaperoning? Huh? It's the worst thing to do is to go, mom and dad, to a dancing party of boys and girls, Americanization in their filth, and then you sit there and observe them? Come on. This is a double mistake you are doing. So how can you get out of it? You have to have unique personality and strong. I was pressured to have dancing party when I was graduating from the American University, and it was called at that time sock hop party. What? I told them, what? They said sock hop party. Can anybody explain what is sock hop party? I never understood it. Muslims and Christians, you know, in the old country we have Muslims and Christians. Even the Muslims, they said, we dance, so what? I said, tell me what is sock hop party? Who wants? Hasib, you want to tell us what is sock hop party? Just from then the word, English word. I couldn't understand at that time what is sock hop party. You say, you know what? Dancing, what? In your socks. Means take off your shoes and you go and dance, boys and girls. Muslims or Christians, immaterial, all of them are one in the old country. Then when they told me that, I said, A'udhu Billah. You want me to dance with a girl? They say, yes, don't you have a girlfriend? Muslims are telling me, not only Christians. I said, no, I don't have a girlfriend. They said, we'll get you a girlfriend from the next door. We have a college for the girls. Across the street, there is a college for the girls, Muslims and Christians. If you want a Muslim, I will get you a Muslim. Want a Christian, we'll get you a Christian. I said, what shame upon you? Me dancing? Oh, you don't have a girlfriend? You don't have a... I said, no. I said, but I have 200 Muslim girls, teenagers, high school. I teach them in the Islamic community. But none of them is a girlfriend. None of them I shake hand. None of them. Sure. Pressure, huh? You know what they did to pressure me? They went to a Muslim professor. And they told him, listen, Ahmad Sakr doesn't want to come to the sock hop party. You go and pressure him. It's not only the Christian and the Muslim boys, friends in the classroom, graduating class, but also the Muslim came to me and he said, I'm a Muslim, so you know me. He graduated from Davis, California, but he's professor. He said, I dance. I said, because you are wrong in front of the students. I said, you claim Muslim and you do something wrong. Don't you feel ashamed of yourself? I said this to my professor. He said, if you don't come, I'll flunk you from my class. I said, be my guest. Flunk me. Flunk me from the whole college, from the whole university. Who cares? Yeah, in front of every student. Then, he went and told the dean. The dean happened to be a Christian. The Christian dean came to me and said, I heard that you don't want to attend the graduating party. I said, yes. Why? I said, because they told me it's a soccer party, it's a dancing party. He says, yes, so what? I said, you Christian? You claim you're Christian? Don't you know your Bible, what it says? If a man look, not touch, look, If a man look at a woman with lust, he better now poke out his eyes and be blind now rather than all his body in hell. So all of you will go to hell in the day of judgment. He zipped his tongue. He doesn't have any answer. They went again. The Muslim professor tried to pressure me. Pressure group. The student said, Ustaz, to the teacher, you professor, if Ahmad Sakr doesn't come, we will not come. I said, Alhamdulillah, ya Allah, cancel it. They were playing the game, to see how I read. I said, I don't care. The professor, Muslim professor said, okay, you don't want to dance because you are fanatic, you are rigid. How about you stand at the door when everybody wants to enter the so-called party, you take the tickets from them. I said, MashaAllah, you think my dad sent me to American University of Beirut to go attend the door of hell so as everybody come to hell and I be number one to go to hell? No way. I said, okay, I make a deal. He made a deal with me, I made a deal with him. You know what is deal? I said, yes, I will come at the door. Whoever comes here, I kick him out. I said, it is cancelled. He said, you crazy? I want you to... I'm making a deal. I said, that is my deal. He said, get out of here. Second day, he came with another trick. He said, I'll give you a better deal. I said, what? He said, we have two halls, one for dancing, one refreshment. So don't come to the hall of the dancing, go to the hall of refreshment. I said, what for? He said, you go there and sell the refreshment. And when people are tired, they'll come and buy refreshment. In the Middle East, it used to be bottles, not cans, bottles, and they call it kazoos, kazoo jalloul. That's the terminology. And he said, you come and then sell there. I said, what? My dad did not send me to the American University to sell kazoos, soda. In the Middle East and Lebanon, soda at that time with the bottles used to be sold on the street with the poorest people in the whole society. Not educated, not religious, nothing, and they go in the street. The street, they carry a carriage and they sell. I said, MashaAllah, you think this is my job at the university? No way. You are making a deal? I told him, I'll make a deal. He said, what? I said, I'll come there. And I'll stand at the soda. Whoever comes here, I'll take the glass and hit on his head. And tell him, get out of here. He told me, get out of here. I cannot make any more deal. Shaitan comes to you and make all this. So I broke the ice a little bit to see how much you boys and girls, you are going to be pressured with anybody. Would you lean? No. You want to be unique? Yes. You want to be the best? Yes. You want to be a role model? Yes. And therefore be a student and be living a morality life. I don't care what people say. I care what Allah wants. Did I break now part of the peer pressure group? The drugs? No way. I said before, and I repeat again, Mrs. Reagan used to say to our boys and girls, what? No for drugs. You still remember Mrs. Reagan, or you forgot? She used to say no for drugs. I said no for drugs, nor also for alcohol, nor for sex, and nor for dancing party. We will not allow anything. And don't allow yourself to be naive, to be invited by any girl. Let me tell you the story of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A naive Muslim, very honest and very sincere, intimidated. A young lady invited him. A friend. He said, okay, a friend to a friend. It happened that she invited him to her apartment. And he did not know where, so he said, a friend, so what? You know what she did with him? That's hadith, in Bukhari and Muslim, it's written there. Because he's a practicing Muslim, but naive, means he doesn't use his brain enough. When he went there, she locked the door. She wanted to have fun and sex. Me? Have sex with you? No way. She said, Why I invited you? You think for the sake of nothing? He said, please leave me alone. Let me run. She found it locked. Please let me go. She said, no way. I will never leave you. Either we'll have sex Or I'll open the window and scream and say, you raped me. Please, please, don't accuse me. You know, I'm honest, sincere. I didn't do anything. Yeah. After argument, she told him another alternative. She said, you don't want to have sex because you claim yourself you are a practicing Muslim. See this young infant? She pointed at a young infant in a crib. She said, go and kill him. What? You want me to be a criminal to kill a young infant in the crib? She said, because he was illegitimate child, she want to get rid of him. She couldn't do abortion at that time, she want to kill him. He said, you think I want to commit a crime? No way. She said, come on, everything I tell you tell me haram, you tell me haram, haram. I say, have sex? No. Dancing? No. Then kill an infant? No. What type of a Muslim are you? I'm a Muslim like you. He said, shame on him. He said, please leave me alone. He tried to run from the window, he cannot. She said, I'm going to expose you that you raped me. Please, please, leave me alone. She gave him the last ultimatum. She said, you see this cup? There is a cup. There is liquid in it. She said, go and drink it. He looked at it. It's alcohol. No way. Alcohol is haram. What? Everything I tell you, tell me haram, haram, haram. What type of a man are you? Wallahi, no way. She opened the window and she started coming, please, please, let me think it over. So he thought of it for a minute or two. She said, if you don't take one of the three alternatives, you have no choice but to spoil your reputation in the society. Finally, he thought it over. If you are in that tragedy, what would you do? You have sex with her? No. You kill the infant? No. You have the alcohol. Would you drink the alcohol? But you have to do something. But it's locked. And she's going to scream and say you raped her. So that naive Muslim, But everybody will spoil his reputation. Because he's naive, he said, let me think it over. Then he thought it over with his shaitan. His shaitan told him, drink that cup. He drank that alcohol. He lost his brain. He had sex with her. And he killed the baby. Would you go for dancing party? Would you go with any boy who tell you, come on, let's have lunch in the, and then he put you in his car and then he takes you somewhere else? You girls. Would you allow any friend to tell you, let's go for a restaurant, and then from restaurant he drive you, whether you like or not, to another place? The same thing, you boys. Would you accept any girl to invite you? No way. Would you drink alcohol? No way. So it's up to you. Peer pressure. Now I open the door for all of you to speak and to react. He's going to put it off for you, but for me it's exposed. You want more than that? I can tell you much more than that. Yes.
What do you do if someone pushes you and wants to fight you?
Somebody what?
Wants to fight.
Somebody wants to fight, I turn my back and run away from him. He pushed me into it, I ran away from it. That's the right way. Because here in America, if he is pushing you and you hit him, the police will put the blame on you because you hit him. He pushed you, yes. And many times, because I work with the sheriff department, and they tell us, never ever get aggravated by anybody. Whoever aggravates you, they say turn your back and go to the principal and report it. If you use the law in your hand, he aggravated you. Did he beat you? No. You beated him, therefore you go to jail. You follow me? This is America. Whoever aggravates you, they know. There's some of the gang people, they aggravate you. So as you use your hand. When you use your hand, you are in trouble. So I hope you don't use your hand. Turn your back and go to the principal and tell him what you want. Next. Hurry up. Yeah. It's peer pressure. There is no peer pressure. No peer pressure. Come on. From high school or from even elementary school and even from college and university, even hospital peer pressure group. Every place there is peer pressure group. Yalla, moms and dads and then boys and girls. Otherwise, bye-bye, I'm leaving. Yes? Raise your voice.
You said there's not supposed to be any type of interaction between boys and girls. Well, that's when we have study groups. What do you do then?
Well, study group. Are you obliged to study with each other?
Yeah, but sometimes...
You be selective. Not only boys and girls, even boy to boy.
But the teachers like
And when the teachers...
divide it up. And like sometimes we get more than like they are socializing too.
I know. So there is a limit. You have to tell to yourself. I'm glad that you raise it because it happened anytime. And the teacher divide the student into groups to work as a group. And then you find yourself, you are the only boy and then 4 girls around you. American, non-Muslim. So what would you do? I'm saying, you have to work with them, and then you have to remember Allah is seeing you and Allah knows how you are thinking. And they know you, if they don't know you are Muslim and then later they know you are Muslim and you are decent, you don't touch anyone, you don't flatter with anybody, and then they respect you much and more. They might accept Islam. But if you goof around here and there, well, you are like any other goofer, so what? I'm not saying you personally, don't misunderstand, but you have to show that you don't represent yourself and your mom and dad only, you present all of us at one time. And you represent Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this planet Earth. When you have that type of an attitude, believe me, you are being number one. Now suppose you tell your teacher, I don't want because my religion does not allow me. When you are sitting co-ed in the school, in the classroom, huh? What would you do if 2 American girls sitting, one right, one left, and both are with miniskirt? What would you do? How about your teacher coming as a lady and she has a miniskirt and she is teaching and she sits on the table? She sits on the table with miniskirt. What would you do? Kick her out, huh? Don't have a university. Tell mom and dad, why don't we have a university of our own? Or why not having a high school of our own? Now our problem in America, we don't have high schools, Muslim high school. The best Muslim high school, those that have at least to 8th grade or 9th grade. Now in Chicago, they started at least to 12th grade, but there's only few students. In LA area, Orange County, up to 8th grade. And most of the girls having hijab and they pray daily in the masjid with the boys and they respect it. And during graduation, they are crying. I go to graduation party there in the masjid in the center. The girls are crying. Why? Because now they dump us in high school where sex and drugs and dancing and prom and whatnot. And we have to take out our hijab and no namaz, no akhlaq. No. I said, you see, Dr. Muzammil Siddiqui, why don't you? It costs money, yes. But which is more important, money or your own loving daughters? You lose one daughter, you lost more than $10 billion from your own budget because your biological investment is over and therefore you lost your children and you lost your identity, you lost your heritage, you lost everything. But that's another thing. Yes, go ahead. Somebody raise his hand. Yes.
I just wanted to know because at school, a lot of my friends, they ask, I know the answer to why we can't date and everything.
Yes.
But a lot of them ask me why you can't date, how you're going to end up getting married and everything. And I just don't know how to answer that.
Very simple. I don't have to date to get married. I will get married whenever the time arrives for me. But they don't understand. How we do it is differently. We tell them how we do it. Unfortunately, different Muslim families do it differently. But what Islam tells us, I'll tell you in a minute. But the peer pressure group that you have to date and date and date, and then enjoy sex here, sex there, sex here, and most of the girls lose their virginity and their honor, and some of them have drugs, and some of them will take pills in order not to be pregnant, and then they'll be pregnant, and the boys will give them condoms. In LA City, by the way, LA City, not LA County, LA City. The Board of Education last 4 years decided that since the boys are sexually active, we cannot control them. They gave them condoms and they gave the girls pills, birth control. And still the rate of pregnancy is high and whatnot. For a Muslim girl, she will never ever allow herself any boy to touch her. Let alone dancing, let alone to have kissing and hugging, let alone having sex. Never, ever. Now, we date whenever the time comes. How we date? Family to family and boy to girl in the group. Even the Mexican, up till now, the culture is not to have one-to-one. Most of the Mexican, the Hispanic people, their marriage is family to family, group to group, and boy to girl, all together in the same gathering. And this is what Islam decides. Islam decides that the boy and girl should see each other. Your mother and father should see the boy. His mother and his father should see the girl. And your mother and father should see his family. And their family should see your family. Which means that 2 families from here, 2 families from there, and the boy and girl will be meeting together at a dinner or refreshment or whatever it might be. And then get to know each other. By visitation, the boy and girl get to know each other more and more. More visitation, more getting together, but no hugging, no kissing, no. They can sit together, boy and girl, and even in the same room, a little bit far from each other and talking to each other, by seeing them. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that you should see the girl, look at her, whether she talks or nonsense or nonsense, whether there is some deficiency or the deformities in her face or eye, you have to talk, and the reverse is true. But to go and then try to take the girl in the car and then say, I go to a restaurant. A restaurant is a public. Here in America, car is a public and private at the same time. Restaurant is a public and private at the same time. You can do in the restaurant whatever you want to do privately, you can do it publicly. America, there is no privacy. Everything is public. Whatever is public is private, and whatever private is public. So no way that you go with the boy to date you, even if he says, I will not touch you, I will not think, but we'll go to a restaurant and we'll talk to each other. How do you know that he will extend his hand and start doing whatever you don't want? Huh? So there are so many things like this. Don't allow shaitan to push him or to push you. Our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, when there is a man and woman, male and female, genders together, number 3 party is shaitan. So don't allow shaitan to be with us. So, but tell mom and dad, why don't you invite that young man and find whether he's good or not. I have written tips for mom and dad, how you find out about the girl and the boy indirectly by investigating about him and her and the family. And you have to go to the family and to see their house. And see whether the house, where in the house you see their house? Kitchen and washroom. If the kitchen is clean, means the family is clean. If the washroom is clean, means the family is clean. But don't go to the bedrooms. There are boys who want to see your bedroom. He's the filthy man. He wants to see your bedroom. Get out of here. So what I'm saying, there is something called dating in Islam, where it means family to family, when the boys and girls and the family of both are meeting each other. Because you are not marrying a boy and running away. You are marrying the family of the boy or the family of the girl, and your family and his family should be number one family. When you become one family, that's Islam. Okay? So here you are seeing each other in the camping, okay? You go to masjid, you see each other. You go to high school, if there are Muslim boys and girls, you see each other. But now, you cannot investigate even on the Muslim boy that he is with you in the high school or the college, you know? It's not easy for you to investigate. He dressed, mashallah, handsome and whatnot, and I told you, beware of what? You still remember what I said, beware of what? You ladies, you girls, beware of what? Raise your voice. Foxes and wolves. I say this to the American girls and American women, oh, beware of foxes and wolves. Who are? They tell me. I said, we the man. We are foxes and we act like wolves. Sure? I said, yes, we know how to use sweet language to you, and that's what you want to hear. Allah, you are beautiful, your dress is beautiful, and all these nice words, and you want to hear these words. And then when you lean and give in, he acts as a wolf and snatch you into pieces and then throw you in the street. Whoever comes and tell you you are beautiful, what should you say? If somebody tells you you are beautiful, what do you say? Get out of my face. I know I am beautiful. I don't need you to tell me beautiful. I saw myself on the mirror this morning. I know I'm beautiful. I don't need to hear it from you. But you don't have the courage to say this. Huh? I said it. Huh? Sister Akhila doesn't want me to say what I said this morning. I said to the sisters, I said, do you see how beautiful you are? You saw yourself in the mirror. Can any one of you see your beauty now? No. We are the ones who are seeing your beauty. I will repeat once for all. She doesn't want me to say the reverse sentence, huh? Huh? I said, once for all. I said, I and everybody sees the beauty of each other, but you yourself, you cannot see your beauty. I cannot see my ugliness. You can see my ugly face and ugly talk and whatnot. This is what she doesn't want me to say. So I said, you cannot see yourself. And therefore, don't worry about others telling you you're beautiful or not. Telling me, I know I'm beautiful. I don't want to hear it from anybody. I want Allah to accept me. Can women dance and sing among women? It's a good question. Huh? Come and answer with me. You see, dance, what type of dance? And what type of songs? There is song ghazal, and there are two types of ghazal, the lower ghazal and the upper ghazal, those Urdu speaker. What is ghazal? Love. Love of Allah spiritually. Love of sex and boys and girls and moms and dad or ladies and men, that's the worst thing. So there are songs that are prohibited in Islam which excite sex and love and French word amour or the ghazal. The ghazal is the love of Allah. Love of Allah means na'at. Ya Rasulullah, Ya Allah, all these nice tawashih, we call it tawashih, you call it na'at, but the content should be right. Dancing, I don't encourage neither man nor woman to dance even privately, but it's your business. Husband, wife, if they want to dance, let them dance by themselves in their own bedroom, but not in public. Come and say.
There is in the Quran, when regarding the hijab, Quran describes that the ladies, the sisters should have hijab from, and then describe from who are the people where she's supposed to have the hijab from. Then at the end it describes in those women, meaning it's women got to have hijab for women too, if they know that these women are bad women, that these women are going to exploit them, that these women are going to dispose them. Then you got to have, it's not only men. That's why I emphasized in the beginning also yesterday that hijab is a very wholesome notion. It's not just one particular area. So it's for men or women, you have to be very careful. We have to be very careful who we are with, who we are sitting with, who are we standing with, who we are talking and associating with, because they can have a really great repercussions on our lives. So dancing, not only dancing, just day-to-day association, we have to be careful not to talk about dancing, because we know what dancing means today.
Now it's easy to give you these answers, but I want to see how many of you are going to, inshallah, apply them. What our teacher said it is perfect, and therefore we hope we can apply it in our private and public life. If, this is a question, if you find out that one of your friends smokes or drinks, can you still be friends with him or her? We are talking about a person, Muslim or non-Muslim, smokes or drinks. I'll try my best to be away from them as much as possible, even smoking, because you are to be recognized with the peer group. The hadith of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you are known with your friends. You associate with this smoker, you will be one day smoking. A drinker, you will be one day drinking. Therefore, you have to isolate yourself from all these friends. Which is more important, yourself, your health, or a friend? Help me, you boys and girls. What? Your friends is more important than your health? No. Your health is more important. You know, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded us of Bani Israel. And a person used to see a friend of his committing haram. He said haram. Second day haram. Third time haram. Fourth day and ever, he said, Khalas, I told you haram, haram. So he stayed with him as a friend. You know what happened? لعنهم. Allah cursed them. كما لعن بني إسرائيل على لسان داود وعيسى بن مريم ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوا لبئس ما كانوا يفعلون. They used to be associating themselves with each other because I already told him it's his business. When it is his business, he is bringing the damage to you. Now you tell me, but I'll be too fanatic. I say, which is more important? I don't care. Let them say fanatic, but I will not associate myself. Is that friend the only friend in America? Omar, would he be the only friend for you, suppose? Or there will be any other friend? Go, careless. Let me go and find a better friend. But I will not associate. I will advise them. For smoking, I say for your health is not good. For drinking also, it's not good for his health or her health. So I say leave me alone. I don't want to associate myself with these people. If he suppose smoke, but when you are sitting, he should not smoke. Even if you are making the teamwork of a research, or the university professor or the teacher at the high school told you to make a work together, tell him at the time of work, no smoking. Okay? If he tells you, let's go and have a cup of drink, say, no way, I will not go. Leave me alone. Now another one which is very good. I'm sitting on the bus, alone in one seat. Then, or there are no other open seats on the bus. A girl comes and sits beside me. What should I do? Help me, moms and dad. Huh? Moms and dads, you are here with me. What would you do? What would you advise your son?
If there's no seat on the bus and the girl is already sitting there, you can't get the book bag between them.
Huh?
Put a book bag between them.
Put a book in between you and
Bag, not a book, a whole book bag. The
oh, there. If there is space.
Yeah, but they have to create space, otherwise he'll have to get up and...
He has to squeeze himself and put the bag of the books in between. That's one alternative. Any other advice? Yes. What?
Put your stuff where the seat is.
No, you cannot. You know what he said, this young Omar? You're Omar also? Or what's your name? Kareem. You know what Kareem said? He said, put all your books on that seat what she wants to sit and don't allow her to sit. Why don't you do a different way? The reverse. Let her sit and you put your books where you are sitting and you stand up. Yes?
You can make them switch, like if you have a friend, ask them to switch.
If there are friends, but if there is nobody at all and you are in public bus and this is the only seat, so it's a test for you. You know, a bus is a simple because it's a matter of half an hour or whatever. Huh? How about a plane? 15 hours. 15 non-stop. Last 3 weeks I was flying between Los Angeles and Hong Kong. 15 hours, huh? So, suppose woman on right and left, what can I do? You see? Yeah. So I'm saying sometimes you are obliged to do something and try to see, can you readjust? You cry to Allah, you know? Most of the time I cry, you see? When I was coming here, a lady was in between two men. I'm sitting at the window and another man on the aisle and a woman's in between. She was embarrassed. I said, if you want to go and sit at the window. She said no. After a minute or before we took off, she found another seat next to her relatives. Lady, and she went there, so we had an empty seat. I said, Shukran ya Allah. You cry to Allah, Allah will send you somebody to take care of you. You see, you have to, deep in your heart, you have to understand Allah is testing you, what you do. He sent you even a woman with a pant, short pant, and all her thighs and legs are shown. What would you do? It's a test from Allah to see how far you react. Either you try to see another, or it's a test. Close your eyes. How far? 15 hours? Sleep. How far? It's not easy, you see? Too much. But these are public places, you are being tested. But other than that, it's your own choice. So what you should do most of the time, I say either aisle or window. Nothing in between. Because in between, you will end up one here, and you will be embarrassed. At least at the aisle I can turn. At least at the window I can turn. Yes? I don't care to look at here or there. So these are public places. And that bus that you are the one who raised the question, well, I can put even my book bag on my seat and I will stand up. Or I pretend I want to tell her to come and sit. I'll stand up. No? Wow, school bus. School bus, these are small kids. You cannot, huh?
Not necessarily. High school.
High school, okay. Oh. So it is a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now at least I got information that nobody is supposed to stand up. Like a plane, you have to sit. You cannot stand up unless it is flying. And you see. Next, peer pressure. You, panel, help me. Everybody has to speak. Yalla. You are supposed to help me to talk. Otherwise you are sitting here. What? Yalla, don't feel ashamed if your mom or dad is here. Feel proud. Say whatever you want to say. How did you handle yourself? I exposed myself. I told you what I did with the prom. Yes, there. I didn't hear you.
I have something for
Yes.
Like, we can't eat pork or pepperoni or anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you in school they have pizza and you want the pizza, but you can't have pepperoni. And your friends are always like, oh, just take it off, it really doesn't matter.
No.
But it really does matter because the juice is already gone to the pizza.
Sister Aqila?
You know what you do?
Well,
This happened in our school. In our school, they only ordered pepperoni
raise your
pizza.
voice.
They only ordered pepperoni pizza. So what I did is I knew some vegetarians who don't like pepperoni, and I talked to the people and I asked them if I get a group of 12 people to buy the pizza, can you just let me pay for it and then I'll sell it myself? So I bought the whole box, and me and my brother split it, and then we sold the cheese pizzas to other people. They just want to make sure that that box of pizza will be sold. That's why they don't order anything else.
See how she handled herself? Very smart. This is one of the ways you to do. Now, Sister Aqila, remind me, last week I received a document from USDA. You know USDA, United States Department of Agriculture. Last year they requested me to send them information about food, halal and haram, because they are being propounded with requests from different public school system. Now they made a document and they have sent it to most of the schools in the East Coast, in New Jersey, New York, and Boston and whatnot. And they quoted me and my books and whatnot, and they gave list of food, halal and haram. It's document to be given to all the public school system. Now, if I receive a new document, they are sending me a better document because the previous one was messed a little bit. So maybe I'll send you a copy, duplicate as much as possible, send it to as many schools as possible, and then the school cafeteria, they will understand exactly our requirement as the USDA has told them. And they told me we don't have enough budget to send it all over the country. We took care of only our region. They said, if you want, you duplicate it and circulate it and let the public school system know exactly what you Muslims want for your children. And it is designed for the children at the schools, elementary, junior high, and high school. And it can be used also at the university level and public places. Believe me, one of the best doctrine. So this is also another thing, but you see how she handled herself? This is one way which is very good. I want everybody to think that way. Yalla, brothers, young brothers, yalla. Yes.
Can you eat chicken or beef outside the restaurant or at the
You read my books. And there is a new book coming. I already finished it. 150 pages, a new book coming. It's finished. But it has to be sent to a printer. I need money to print it. But I brought so many sensitive problems in it. There are so many fake information. Even you, your husband, are practicing Muslim, mashallah. If your husband goes in the farm and slaughter that chicken and say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, may not be halal. May not be. Even if Dr. Marwat himself, our religious, spiritual teacher and PhD in Islamic studies, he himself, me, myself, you, Sister Aqila, and everybody went with us to the farm and we slaughter the animal, the chicken and the beef and the cow, and say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, may not be halal for us. Zabiha is zabiha, but not zabiha al-halal. You know why? Because the chicken has been given steroid hormone, diethylstilbestrol. It's a female sex hormone. And the more they are giving it to the chicken grows up very fast. The beef grows up very fast. And it's a female sex hormone. The more you give it to your children, that meat, the chicken or the beef, your boys, when they grow up, they are having more female sex hormone. You see, we have female sex hormone, but very minute. You have more female sex hormone, we have more male hormone. Because of more male hormone, we have beard, we have voice, we have muscles, we have short hair. You have the reverse, without mentioning the reverse, okay? You know what I'm referring. And this secondary appearance. If a boy is receiving more diethylstilbestrol hormone, steroid, it will not be destroyed by the cooking procedure, but when he grows up, he's going to be what? He has more female sex hormone in his body. Either he injected himself like Michael Jackson to look soft voice, long hair and whatnot, and he molested so many kids. Otherwise, your boys are going to have the sex feeling of a girl because they have more of that hormone in their body, therefore they will be gay. And therefore, that KFC, chicken, sister, the chicken and the beef, may not be equal. Number two, the food they are giving to the chicken and to the beef and the cow contains meat. They take the viscera of the animal and crush it and mix it and then give it to them. We ended up with mad cows in England, which brought sickness and diseases. Therefore, what should we do? I said the cows. Nowadays, I said it before, cows. In America, 1994 February, federal government allowed them to use estrogen to increase the bladder of the cow and increase more milk. I said, the more we are going to drink milk now for your boys, the infant now, when they reach the age of puberty, they are going to end up with having breasts like girls. So unisex, even appearance. So what should we do? So you are asking, shall we eat the meat in the supermarket? Do you know that that beef has a preservative? That hot dog, did you read what a preservative the hot dog has and all the salami and bologna? It has sodium nitrate or sodium nitrite. It's cancer producing. So what are we talking now? Either the feed is haram, bringing mad cows to bring diseases to us, or making immoral life, or producing unisex, and God knows what happened, and cancer. So what should we do? Not to eat anything. No, we should eat. What should we do? Temporary. Till we correct them, you go and eat the following. Fish is still pure. Number one. Number two, partially true, is the lamb. But still the feed of the lamb may be contaminated. Number three is the goat, partially, because the feed might be still wrong. So what should we do? We should make a farm of our own. But you tell me your husband is a medical doctor, yes or no? He's not a farmer. But there are others who can be farmers. So we were talking this morning about what? We talk about what? About electrovalency and coordinated covalency. Yes or no? Who was with us this morning when we talk about it? Only the girls, huh? The boys did not understand this. And we said, if you are rich, you should help the poor. If you are poor altogether, share your poverty, and then you end up having a farm, a grocery store, a department store among all of us. Let's have a land, small land, and we raise our animals by ourselves, feed them halal, slaughter them halal, sell them halal, and preserve them halal, and eat halal, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. That's the idea. You tell me it's too much. I said, you suffer. You have enough money to buy, you don't have to buy a piece of land. You can rent a piece of land and raise the animals. And bring one family, they will raise the animals for you. But it's up to you. Till we reach that level, I have to scare everybody. The new book, I have much more than that. Kosher is not halal because it may contain pork. And it may contain also what? Alcohol. Vegetarian may not be halal because vegetarian may have alcohol at the same time. And plus, from a health point of view, a vegetarian is not the best. How can you be sure that the halal chicken we buy does not have those steroids? Yes, I suspect everything. I suspect everything because the one halal store is not the one who is supervising the animal. He might be supervising the slaughtering also. And after slaughtering, he gives it back to the butcher, to the slaughtering house to process it. How do you know they have processed it with the pork at the same time in the same machine? So, no. So it is doubtful. Everything is doubtful. Unfortunately, all what we talk about halal in America is what? Slaughter, huh? MashaAllah. I slaughter it in the name of Allah, it's halal. Come on, give me a break. It's not enough. Yes?
Some of the bigger commercial meat products, like Young and Tender and stuff, they always advertise no hormones. They'll say they write it on the package. Is it better to eat the stuff that you're sure?
That is one factor. No hormones, but they fed them pork. Islam says if the animal has been fed pork, you have no right to slaughter the animal for 40 days. You have to isolate that animal for 40 days and eat regular plants to cleanse their body before you slaughter it. So they have no hormone, but they have the worst food. Yes. 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 What? Shark. What is a shark? Is what? A fish. Wallahi, according to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we have made a seminar between Shafi, Hanafi, Maliki, Hanbali, and Ja'fari also, Shia. The Shia said haram, the Hanafi said makruh, the rest are said halal. Quran is very explicit, everything in the sea is halal. But it's up to you from any school of thought. If you want to follow Abu Hanifa that it is makruh, it's your business with them. But if Shafi'i eats it, don't blame them. If Maliki eats it, don't blame them. If Hanbali eat it, don't blame them. If your parents are Hanafi and they say no, don't argue with them. Say yes, my daddy. Is this the only meat? No, there are plenty of meat, so why should I worry about it? Whether it is a shark or not, I will not eat shark, I'll eat something else. Yes?
For women, is perfume and scent
What?
haram?
What?
Is perfume and scent haram for women?
Perfume?
And scent. Scent.
Perfume, scent?
Yeah, perfume and scent.
You see, perfume and scent. Perfume is what? A volatile aroma dissolved in alcohol. So perfume and cologne are volatile aroma, good smell from different plants and dissolved in ethyl alcohol. Okay? Ethyl alcohol is haram to be sold, to be used, to be everything. Before it was used as antiseptic to clean the wounds. Now they don't use that ethyl alcohol because it denatures the skin and kills the skin. And most of the American ladies, you see their faces are being wrinkled at the age of 30 and 40 because they have used too much cosmetics on their faces, and therefore they destroy the skin of their faces with perfume and other things because ethyl alcohol. Anything which has been dissolved in oil, scent, those scents, this without alcohol is excellent. You have to use it, but when, where, and how you use it. Do you use it when you come to next to the boys because you want them to smell you nice, or you use it every day, but don't over using it so as wherever you are walking the aroma and the flavor and the smell is going for a mile. So
Lotions that have like a good fragrance to it, you can get rid of it.
lotions, if they have no alcohol, it's okay for your skin from a health point of view, and your beauty regularly should stay not to look old at the age of 30 or 40. Otherwise, if you use them now, I'll assure you at the age of 30, you are going to see your faces being wrinkled. Why? Because ethyl alcohol destroys the skin. They call it denature the skin, protein. So use anything which has oil, but not the alcohol. Yes, sister.
So leather handbags.
What?
Leather handbags made of leather, or purses or belts.
From what animal?
Well, most of the time here when people buy out, we don't know.
I mean, they said if it is regular animals, leather is okay. If it is pork, it's a question mark between ulama. Some of them said yes, others said no. And each one has based it on a solid foundation. I have discussed it with so many ulama, and each one has it differently. Yes, doctor.
I'm debating on this subject a little. The differences in the thoughts of the imams, different imams, are these based on Sunnah or these fatwas?
No, all of them are based on Sunnah and Quran. And because each one lived differently in different countries, and each one lived at different time. But some of them were teacher and student, and they differ from each other in understanding the tafsir of the ma'ani al-Quran through the hadith. And each one has a valid point the way he understood. Like now, Imam Abu Hanifa says the meaning that the Imam replaces you. You don't need to read Quran while you are behind him. He reads Quran, whether silently or loudly. The other, Shafi'i says, if it is silent, you have to read with him. Otherwise, if you don't read, your salat is zero. So each one understood it differently. Abu Hanifa said, the Imam replaces me, so why should I read? Is it loudly? He said, whether the loud or the silent salat, he substitutes. Shafi said, no. The silent, you read, while he is reading silently, you are reading silently. And when he is reading loudly, either you read with him silently, or he should give you a pause of 1 minute or two to give you a chance to read it. Otherwise, your salat is on. So this is their understanding. So what should we do now? We try to accommodate each other. We don't make a fuss. Because the hadith says, any Muslim who does not read Fatiha, his salat is zero. Which is true. But Abu Hanifa said, the Imam is taking care of you, so why you should... that is their understanding. Their basic understanding directly from Quran and the Hadith and the Sunnah, but their understanding, one lived in Egypt, one lived in Iraq, one lived in maybe Iran or in India. Therefore, lifestyle and situation and everything was different. So they tried to give as much as they understood it. Suppose now Dr. and myself, Dr. Marwat and myself. Of course, he knows more than me. His understanding may differ from me, supposedly. Does this mean that either he is a way of Islam or I am a way of Islam? No. My understanding, I have science and biology along with Sharia, but my Sharia was through tutoring from childhood to adulthood, not professionally with my professional university, but every day I had to study Islam with different teachers of Islam, from Quran, Hadith, Sharia, everything for 15 years. Tutoring. But my understanding has flavor of science and technology and biology, microbiology, and all this because I took them for my PhD, you know. So my understanding may differ and deviate from his understanding, but still we love each other, we respect each other, we honor each other, we compliment each other. And for this reason, we are still here coming year after year. And I feel very happy when I see Dr. Marwat. I say you are blessed to have Dr. Marwat in your neighborhood. Believe me, if you do not honor him and respect him, you don't deserve to have him. He may have to leave you and go to some other place to honor him. Yes, I tell him, if they don't respect you, they don't honor you, this is not the only town in the world, this is not the only city in the world, this is not the only country in the world. Go to a place where you are being honored and respected. I'm not playing the game. I want to make sure that every imam should be treated, don't misunderstand me, doctor, should be treated better than a medical doctor. And don't tell me because you are a medical doctor, you are better. No one is better, neither he nor you. But at least each one has different specialty. As much as you say, I'm a medical doctor trying to treat the psychosomatic cells or the somatic cells, he's trying to treat the spirit and the soul and show you the way how to be close to Allah and go to Jannah. You see? He has PhD, you have MD. He's not bragging, you should not bragging. You are not bragging, he should not brag. We complement each other. Is it okay? But we should treat him, with respect because he's teaching us Islam, inshallah. He never told me anything. Don't tell me I'm telling him. No, I love him. As much as I love you, brother, I love him. And nobody should feel jealous why you love him or no. We love each other. We respect each other. Come on, brother.
Don't go anywhere. No, stay right. You can ask you, wait. All right. Don't touch the mic. Okay. Okay, first of all, Mortal can't go anywhere. Second of all, no. This is not exactly what we had planned. This is good, but it's not exactly what we had planned. What I wanted to do, or what we had planned on doing, is we really wanted to get your questions and your problems from high school. Like I'll talk to my cousins and some other kids, and they'll be frank. Maybe it's just because it's just a few of us, but they'll be frank, and I really get to hear their problems and the problems of other kids, and you can try and help them. So that's what we want to do. So if we can give that a shot, we'll give it one more shot. If not, we'll just have to do it in the dorms tonight. I'll just round you guys up. So if you have questions about problems you encounter in high school, we know we can't go to a dance. We know that, okay? But kids will come up to me, I don't know how to say, I don't know how to tell people, I don't know what to do. I can't go, but how do you deal with it? And like this, for example, kids will end up in a 10th, 11th, 12th grade, and basically every time, a dance comes around 3-4 times a year, they're suddenly traveling out of town, or, their mother's not feeling well, they have to stay home. So these are the type of things. They find themselves, caught in a lie every semester, twice a semester. So those are the things we want to try and talk about. If you have those type of problems, if you're in the halls and, you know, girls are coming up to you, or you're in case boys are coming up to you and bothering you, they'll put their arm around you. What do you do? What do you say? So if you have any questions like that, those would be good. Answer it. Okay, well, first of all, this would go mostly, I guess, towards the younger kids, because I know some of you older kids it's not too late for you yet, but you've already kind of established that pattern of lying, so it's kind of hard to get out of. But if you make it known right away, like especially you junior high kids, if you listen up, and you middle school kids, make it known that you're a Muslim, and make it known that you can't date, make it known that you can't drink, make it known that you can't go to parties. Make all these things known. Yes, you might not be the most popular person in school. You still might be. You never know. But you may not be popular. You may feel odd, but you will make your life a lot easier Islamically. You'll make it extremely easier, because if you just go to a party, you think it's harmless, but there's alcohol there, there's girls there, there's dancing there. That's where all the problems arise. So for you younger kids, that's elementary school, middle school, junior high, go back to school this semester and make it known. Make it well known. Don't make just, in class when you're studying Islam, I'm a Muslim. Tell your friends that, I can't do this because I'm a Muslim. I can't go with you tonight because I'm a Muslim, and it's against my religion to drink, it's against my religion to mingle. If you do that, you'll make your life easier. And
but if a Muslim tells you I go, the non-Muslim, it's easy to answer that. What you said is perfect. But how about your friend is a Muslim and he say, I go to dancing club? What would you say?
We have Muslims like where I go to college, and they'll go to clubs and stuff. And you can tell them, most of the time they already know. They know what they're doing is wrong, and you can tell them what they're doing is wrong. I guess you can just say over and over again that this is not what Islam teaches. You can show them, the proof. If you don't know it, you can find it. You can have Imam Marwat or someone else help you out. But in most cases, I find, at least with people I've interacted with, is that they know the rules. They just decide not to follow them. I don't know if Nabil or Steve have anything to add, or over here you can just come in anytime. Yeah.
Can you play sports for the school?
Can you play sports for the school?
No, because say you want to play soccer, shorts and stuff, and then if you want to play football, you have all the cheerleaders and stuff and all this, and then you have all this nonsense after your game.
I think I'll pass this one off to
We have two girls from our Muslim community, and they're excellent tennis players. I mean, they rank like first, second, third rank. And they used to play for their school, and they were supposed to wear shorts. So they told the school, we are Muslims, we cannot wear shorts. We will play for your school if we can wear warm-ups. Otherwise, we won't play. The teacher knew that they didn't play for the school, their school lost. They said, okay, we are Muslim, you can wear warm-ups and you can play. They said all right to them. So if you ask them to keep your shorts longer, and if you're a very good player, then you might be allowed to wear.
This is excellent. We had a case study of a Muslim girl, excellent in basketball for the girls. And they refused her. She used to not to wear a hijab, and then she went to the old country, to Egypt, and came back in the summer. She started as a high school putting hijab. And she was excellent player. They refused her, the teacher refused her, and the coach also refused her. She reported, and both of them refused her. She went to the principal. She was very sympathetic. But the principal wants a document from the superintendent. She said to her father, why don't you go to the superintendent and take your religious men with you to tell them, let them give a memo to crush the ego of those teachers. Because she doesn't want that she as a principal to have fight with those people. The coach and the teacher said, your scarf will entangle with other player and then they will fall on the floor. What scarf? Come on, give me a break. Crazy man. A small scarf and tied up to the neck and there is nothing flying. So I had to go with the father to the superintendent. We told him. He said, no problem. He sent a memo. Now she's playing with them. You see, you either directly, as you said, if it doesn't work, let us go to the principal. If it doesn't work, we go to superintendent. And we say, this is a human right. They are violating my right. I have the right to play as long as it is girls to girls, boys to boys. She is not pushing her on boys, it's for the girls. And therefore, it's a matter of speaking up. Here in America is a free country. If you don't speak for your rights, nobody cares for you. Not only for food and halal, whatnot, even for dress, even for salat. Now the boys and girls in the high school are praying daily salat, zuhur and asr in the high school. And they bring also somebody from a university, MSA, to come and lead the salat, and even Jum'ah to give salat al-Jum'ah in the high schools. You ask, you get. You don't ask, you don't get. So remember this, even between you and Allah. Not only between you and the other people, between you and Allah. You ask Allah, Allah gives you. You don't ask Allah, Allah will tighten the screws so as you can raise your hand and ask Allah.
Oh, okay. Auntie just wants me to talk about how I started praying at school and wearing hijab. Well, I used to go to a Christian school because my parents were afraid to send me to the public, but then it closed down in the 9th grade, so I had to go to the public school. And I started wearing hijab, and the Zuhr prayer I couldn't pray at home because it would end during school. So for my 7th period hour, I had a free hour, like as a teacher's aide. So I was able to pray, and then there were 2 other Muslim sisters at the school, and they had permission to pray also. I mean, if you tell them, like the principle that you have to pray, they can't say no because that's your constitutional right. That's it.
Assalamu alaikum. All right, do I have everybody's attention? You guys are talking and everything. But I think the biggest problem in the high schools, especially now, like, to be honest with you, I kind of I'm forgotten a little bit because I've been so much into the college thing, and I feel so comfortable with my new brothers and sisters that alhamdulillah, I'm glad I kind of feel more comfortable now than what I know I didn't feel comfortable back in high school. And the biggest problem is, and I see it in some of you people also now, is you have identity crisis. Some of you think I'm going to make labels like stereotypes, okay? Like if you're in Miami, you think you're Cuban. If you're, from the city or whatever, you think you're black, meaning like, the African American, yo-yo or whatever, you think you just have to fit in like that. If you're from Okeechobee, you think you're a redneck. If you're, it goes with different parts of the different regions or whatever. And I mean, I think you can probably agree with me because you have to fit in so much, right? Because your friends are doing something. Maybe it's not. I mean, dating has gotten beaten, even though it's such a big topic in high school. But the whole thing, normally, boys tend to stay with the boys in the high school, and girls tend, at least in the early time, 9th, 10th, maybe 11th, 12th grade, I guess, gets very intermingling, or that's at least what I saw. But even when they do tend to stay in their little groups, sisters with sisters and brothers, I mean guys with guys and girls with girls, it's just like you have to fit into that little clique. But what you have to do is you have to, from the beginning, you have to, like what one of the brothers was saying before, you have to let them know that you're Muslim and what Islam is. And it doesn't have to be something like, oh, he's a geek, he's a Muslim, or she's a nerd or whatever because she's a Muslim. But you just have to let them know. Like, this is a poor example, but if someone has like a big nose or something, or if they have big feet, or they have some physical appearance that's really jutting out. Yeah. You listening? If someone is, if some part of the body, right, is jutting out, then you make it observable right on the get-go, like right at the beginning, so that people can't make fun of you. Like I had a friend who's big. He was a fat guy. He wasn't fat like a year ago, but he became fat, and he used to always like make fun of his own self being fat, so that other people wouldn't make fun of him being fat, so he could beat them to it. Kind of like he'd say, "Oh, I don't go to the beach because they think a whale came offshore or something." So with the point I'm trying to get at is because by doing this in Islam, we instead of ignoring Islam altogether that we are Muslims and later getting someone to attack us as being Muslims, right at the beginning, right when we get to know someone, let them know what our customs and our practices are, so that they're really, you don't set them up to when you get in a fight or something, they say, oh, you're just a Muslim or whatever, by that time you'll be saying, yes, so yeah, I am a Muslim and I've told you this already. You just have to let them know. And I think, alhamdulillah, a really good thing's been happening in Okeechobee. There's been a lot of shahadas. And the thing with Okeechobee is I went to high school there too. And, I'd say I had an identity crisis also, because I was not among any Muslim brothers. I didn't have any Muslim brothers until I came to college. And there was one sister Kulsum, and she used to cover. And, it's really proud to see her doing that. But, alhamdulillah, I feel more secure now also as being in college. And I'm sure she has a lot of stories being in high school. I'd actually like to hear some of the stuff, because it's like a real jihad for some of the sisters. I'm sure some of the sisters, you have it a lot harder than us, I'll tell you that. And it's hard. You just gotta really stick it out and give it your best shot. So it kind of works me up too, because the sisters really do have it hard.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, Mateen brought up an interesting point when he was talking about how a lot of times the problem isn't so much what we are allowed and what we're not allowed to do. There is some ambiguity, but a lot of the lines are very clear as well. About things like, say, the prom, or about eating pork or drinking alcohol, or, things like that. A lot of times the lines are fairly clear as to what not to do and why not to do it. But he brought up an interesting point that a lot of times it's very hard to defend your behavior and explain your behavior to people who don't understand Islam and don't know very much about it. But I found that the problem with a lot of people, and this was a problem with myself for a while too, and might still be, I don't know, but you have to know yourself why you're doing what you're doing before you can explain it to anybody else. You'll never ever be able to give a satisfactory answer as to why you do what you do unless you know it yourself. And that's something that you all should be thinking about. Like, I want to ask you now, is there anything that bothers any of you? This is especially geared towards high school students. Is there anything that bothers you about the way you practice Islam? Do you ever feel like you're missing out on something, or that you're being restricted, or that the religions say unfair to women, or, I don't know, doesn't allow guys to do everything they want to do? Does anybody ever feel that way? Because I know I did. About some things, at least. About some things I felt that my religion might be slightly restrictive. I'm leaving this open. Does anybody ever feel restricted? Sisters, brothers?
The parents restrict the girls more than the boys.
Yeah,
Give the boys more freedom than the girls.
This is true. Go ahead, speak up. Hey, you, for this. You're nodding, speak up. What's true? You can talk, that's fine. Does anybody else feel that? Do any of the other sisters feel that way? That your brother's allowed to do more than you are?
Yes.
Yeah? Does it bother you?
Oh,
Yeah?
yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Well then, before, so what happens when your friends say, why aren't you allowed to do anything?
Well, see, my friends are really good about that, because I've been with them since grade school, and they are wonderful. They know my religion. They have been with me when Molana has come over. They have heard me say the Quran, and I used to pray in grade school, and they love it.
Alhamdulillah, that's great.
They love Islam. And if someone ever bothers me about it, I don't even have the answer. They answer for me, and they'll just be like, "Butt out if you don't want to even talk about it or something." Yeah.
You feel that you are restricted more than your brother.
Yeah, well, at home I feel more restricted because I have to do more of the housework. I feel like it should be equal, But it doesn't work out that way.
So yeah, that's a very good example. Anything like that. If anything bothers you about the way you practice Islam, then I would urge you to think about it, to really sit down and think about why you do what you do. There's no point in going through the motions. Hijab, starting to wear hijab is a very courageous thing in this country, and it takes a lot of guts. And I have nothing but respect for people who can wear hijab out when Americans and a lot of the other local people don't cover and don't care, and it doesn't bother them. And I have a lot of respect for people like that. But you always got to think about why you're doing what you're doing. They say that Islam is a religion of peace, and it's true, but it's not just peace with other people, it's peace within yourself. And if you're still struggling with yourself as to why you're doing what you're doing, then you're never going to be able to explain it to anybody else. Yeah.
So if you were cooking,
Yeah.
and that flag represents pizza at each tongue one time. I don't care if you're Muhammad, you gotta take that off.
I had it, remember when they had the satanic verses out? I had the most prejudiced teacher I could ever believe. And she was giving me all this crap. Oh my God, I don't understand why they're making this do that. And I was the only Muslim in my school at that time because my sister was never there.
You want to something like that?
I'm gonna say it on the, we can't hear it.
So what I did is I didn't know what to do, so I was talking to some of my parents about what to say about the satanic verses. But I was kind of lucky because the other movie came out about the Jesus Christ, how they defame Jesus Christ. I forget what the name of it is. But the thing is, you just have to know your religion. Like if you know the answer, you know, like if you cut back, if you say, okay, this one lady, she goes, you're Saddam Hussein's daughter, why don't you go back? And I go, just because I'm a Muslim doesn't mean I'm Saddam Hussein's daughter. I follow my own religion, it's no big deal. And they say so many mean things to you, but do not be, like, don't just sit there and say, just take it. That's the worst thing you can do. Do not take it. Cut back. You don't have to cut them back down meanly or anything, but just show that your brain does work, especially the girls, because you have people coming up to you, you can speak English, oh my God, I thought you were married, why did you come here? And then once they find out you speak English, you have a brain, you're in biology, you're in chemistry, whatever you do, they kind of respect you more for that. And there's another thing, it is in high school, I was the only Muslim girl, as I am is in university. And in my university, there's 500 Muslim guys. And they're all, well, you know, they're not really good. And I'm the only Muslim girl that does hijab in my university. And people really respect you. They really, like once in a while you have people coming up and they're really mean to you. And then like what she was saying, people come up to you and they come up to you and they say, leave her alone, just leave her alone. And they'll protect you. So just be strong, stick to your religion, don't get off your path. If you do go off your path, ask for forgiveness, and inshallah, you'll be fine.
That's good. Yeah.
What can you do with prejudiced teachers? Because one day I wore a cookie on my head, and the teacher said, "Why are you wearing underwear?"
What did you reply?
I told her, I said, "This is my underwear. This is I love to wear it. It's from like this. It's, you know, it's my religious practice or whatever." I just told her that.
You complain to the principal. Go to the principal and tell him make you not wear it. You have to complain.
Yeah.
Just complain to the principal.
Has to do with like the
You can't wear hats?
How about the Jews having the hat on their head? It's halal, huh? But the Muslim cannot have. You talk. You feel shy, it doesn't work. Stand up and say the truth, and don't worry.
There is a misunderstanding. Many of our children do not know, and especially it comes to us as parents, we do not educate our children enough to tell them what they can do and what they cannot do, what they are allowed to do in school and what they are not allowed to do. There is, in public school in particular, there is no uniform. You can wear anything you want. There is no uniform. In public school, generally, there is no uniform. Your teacher, your principal cannot force you to wear this or to wear that. But if your teacher tells you you wear something different, and then you say, okay, I won't wear it, of course. The comment has to be, if you see something different, what would you say? You ask, what is it? But asking doesn't mean you cannot wear it. So you have to be clear in your mind that, yes, it is difficult, yes, it is hard to be different, but that's the point. You are different. Don't be like anybody else. You have to be different. And each one of you have gone through so many. You are different. You are not like anybody else. And you have to keep that in mind. If you don't want to be different, then you will have kind of temporarily easy life. But in long run, it's not easy. It's going to fire back on you. When the older kids have that experience, we wanted to gain the acceptance in school, in colleges. We want to be cool, the word that they use in school and the campuses. and what is cool? You wear dress, and then next day you have to wear pants that are real loose, lousy, and you drag them around, and you wear them, and you look cool. It's the lousiest look that you can have, but yet somebody started it, and you are wearing it, you are doing it. So you have to be yourself. You have to decide for yourself what is it that is cool, what is it that looks nice. I was just giving an example. It's very naive example, but it's when somebody wears the kufi for salat, they say, well, in Pakistan, in India, people go for prayer, and they don't have anything, they put their handkerchief on their head, to cover their head. And say, why, it's gross. But now you see everybody, because the few players wear it, everybody wears that handkerchief around their head. And it's a fashion. So it's not that something is good or something is bad. It's just you give in to the pressure. Everybody else does it for what? You have to ask that question yourself first. Why? What is good in it? Is there any good in it? Physically, mentally, spiritually? Why is done? I see really few of the new kids in school wearing those too loose jeans, dragging behind them. It's really disgusting to me. I may be from out of space, but it is. And when you look, you have to be to yourself. You have to be you and not anybody else. If you start becoming somebody else, your life is going to be miserable, because you cannot make happy everybody else.
This morning we have mentioned it, I don't know, maybe to the girls, I don't know, to the boys. We said the sheriff department gave us a video. The title of that video is Dress for Death. And they have made survey among the Hispanic, the African American, the Asians, and the Caucasians. What type of a dress your boy and girl may dress, and it might be to be killed by another group. It's a dress, normally you buy it from a department store, but it is a gang dress. If it is not the dress, it's the shoes, the color of the shoes, the color of the lace, the color of everything. And they tell you how to investigate upon your children, whether they are part of the gang and you don't know. And they show you where to go to find it. And so many things which is very, very important. I know none of us involved, but in order to protect the life of your children not to be shot by another gang, they may think that you are a gang. So inshallah, if you remind me, Sister Aqila, I'll send you a copy of that, which will help tremendously. You duplicate as many as possible and send it to the family. Here is the question: if a bully, what is a bully? A goat? Or and his gang say, come on, and they want to beat you up, and you try to run and they hold you back. You have to see how to get out of it. If it is in the school, go back to the principal as fast as possible and take precautionary measures. If it is in the street after 10 o'clock night, it's your problem. We had a case of this nature with some of our kids. After 10:30, they were held up, and they were asked to take them to a party. They had no choice but to take them. They kept them till after midnight, waiting for them. When they brought them back, another gang saw them with this gang. They shot these two Muslim boys. This older brother was shot in his face, in his ear, on our eyes and chest, and you see everything. He was to die. When the police saw him, he said, dead completely. His younger brother was shot, but it affected his chest and whatnot. And really, it took 2 months to get rid of those small bullets from all over. Luckily, every place around his eye is being hit. Every place around is hit, around the chest, the lung, and the heart is being hit, except those biological organs. Maybe their father and mother did so many sadaqah. And take easy, mom and dad. The more you make sadaqah, charity, the more Allah will protect you and protect your children. So if they try to be away from gangs as much as possible and don't associate with them. Now, one of the brother asked me to elaborate again the question on perfume for the girls. Yes, you can put, but not in public to go and attract the attention of public, huh? So you can put it inside the house and even the school, even in the masjid, but as little as possible, so it will not give the attention of people. Oh, what is a smell? No, that doesn't mean. No? See? And even masjid, you can put it, but not enough. Otherwise, it will smell in the whole community and the whole, and everybody look from where the smell is coming. But that is the intention. The least, the better. You see? And not the perfume, but the oily. So, is it okay? Huh? Any other question? Come on. Yes, come on, sister. Come on.
Yeah, I just had a couple more things to say. Number one, getting back to what you were saying about the hat. In a situation like that, I would advise that the first thing you do is find out why. You always have to ask why. Don't ever be afraid to ask anybody why for anything. If he says don't wear a hat, ask why. If he says because that's the rule, ask why again. There's always got to be a reason. If it's really prejudice, then that reason will come down to, ignorance or lack of understanding or whatever it is. But you have to ask why. You can't be afraid to dig until you get an answer that's really the true answer. They'll say things like it's bad for our school's public image, or it's against the rules, or because we said so. None of those reasons are valid. You got to find a good reason. And the other thing that I would also advise is don't be afraid to say no. If you're doing something that's Islamically sound, then don't be afraid to say no to anybody. To be a good Muslim, especially in this country, you have to have guts. You have to have guts. You have to be able to do what you want to do. It doesn't matter what anybody says. If you're doing something Islamically sound and somebody tries to criticize you and tells you to do otherwise, for whatever reason, it doesn't even matter who's telling you. If you know in your heart, if you've checked with the Quran and the Sunnah, if you've talked to people who know about Islam and what you're doing is right and what you're doing is valid, then there is nobody in this entire world that should be able to tell you no, ever. So you stand up for what you guys stand up for, and if what you're doing is correct, then God is your witness, and He'll see you through. But the other thing I was going to say is that I, maybe in the last year or two, I've begun to see more of the beauty of this religion and why it's such a good way to live. Yeah, it's not that I didn't like it before, but I've just started thinking about it more. I don't know, is it by virtue of my age or whatever it is. But part of the beauty of this religion is that you can conceive of it in a million different ways, whatever will help you out. To some people, they love Islam because it's a religion of peace, because it gives them inner peace, because it, allows them to really be at calm with themselves. Other people like Islam because of the community. Other people like Islam because of the tradition, the history, the examples of character. There are a million reasons to love Islam. My personal reason that I love Islam is probably number one because of the self-discipline involved. Islam makes you strong. It makes you really strong. If you take something like the ritual of salat, for example, people call it a ritual and they say, well, why are you just going up and down, saying meaningless words? That's not all it is. Yes, it's devotion to God. Yes, it's obedience to God. Yes, it's the gathering of the community for Jummah prayer or any Jummah prayer, but it's more than that. Because if you really concentrate and make salat, it's a very focusing process. You leave the outside world behind, and it's essentially a dialogue almost between you and God. And as such, it focuses you a lot. It makes you very strong. It takes a lot. Like, for 99% of the day, the world revolves around you. Everybody. When you're hungry, when you're tired, when you're sleepy, what your schedule is, when you have to go here, go there, what you don't like, what you do like, you think about you, because you're looking through your own eyes.
Don't you think it's a little bit selfish that you're always thinking about you and
Yes, absolutely, it is.
But I don't think
that
really teaches selfishness.
No.
Because you have to look around your society.
Oh, hold on a second.
When you live in your home, you have to think about your parents and your sister and brothers. When you are in a friend circle, you just cannot say you, I, and I. You have to be considerate to the people who live around you. So could you please put some light on that?
Absolutely. The point I was getting to is not that being selfish is good, just that it is a natural human tendency for us to, in our daily lives, think about ourselves and perhaps forget about God in the process. Salat is a focusing process. 5 times a day, you are forced to leave behind all of your concerns, your bodily concerns, your mental concerns, your psychological concerns, everything else. You have to leave it all behind. It's not an easy thing. People who've been praying for a long time think that it's very easy. You get up, you make salat, you go back to whatever you're doing. But it's really a very long process. You have to get up, you have to make wudu, you have to physically go where you have to go. Then on top of that, you have to do the psychological process of clearing out your headspace. In a given day, say, I don't know, any given day, you have a million problems, a million concerns, a million things on your mind. I did bad on this test, or my parents are upset with me, or I have a football game tomorrow that you have to be very prepared for. And it's a challenge to clear all of that out of your head. But what it does for you is that it makes you stronger. If you have control over your own mind, then you can control anything. You can very much control what you think, how you think. You won't be said. Temptation isn't even an issue then, if you can do that for yourself. If you can focus yourself to the point where nothing else matters but you and God, then temptation won't even be an issue. For me as a student, for somebody who lives in America, goes to school in America, is surrounded by non-Muslims for a large part of my life and my day, one of the reasons I love Islam is because it makes me self-disciplined, and it makes me stronger, and it makes me focused, and I can hold my head up high and go anywhere, and there is nobody who can criticize me on any grounds, moral or otherwise, if I live as a good Muslim. And I've gotten a lot of respect from people who would not otherwise understand Islam simply on virtue of my behavior. And whatever works for you, why-ever you love Islam is a good enough reason to love it and go with it and be happy with it and live Islam. But just remember that it'll always make you a better person.
Alright, assalamu alaikum. Now I have my last 2 bits to put in. It's not really 2 bits, just a plea really. Okay, and it's to everyone here. And this is what it is. It's we know you have problems, okay? Because I had problems, Hasib had problems, and everyone has had problems. There are problems, and there are answers to those problems. If you have a problem with something in Islam, there's answers to that problem. We'll find it for you. We don't necessarily have it, but we'll find it for you. If you have social problems, there's answers to those problems as well. We'll find it for you. So before you leave, if you really have a significant problem, please let someone know. Like, ask us tonight in the dorm. Say, I have this problem at school. What would you do? Can you help me? Okay, so think about it and try to get with someone tonight. The brothers and the sisters. You get with the people that you see here, or one of the counselors, or one of the organizers. Ask somebody, because you're getting ready to go to college. Some of you, and when you go to college, what you're doing is you're going to the society is bad, and at college you find the worst of the society. You find the absolute worst, and you find the absolute best as well. And you got to figure out which path you're going to take. And if you're a little bit shaky, if you have questions, it's very easy to take the wrong path. And it's a bad path, because those of us at college, we've seen the other side, and it's what you see outside on TV, and you say that's so bad. At college, it's sometimes 10 times that. It's Woodstock. It's all that. So we're going to plead to you to try and find the answers, so that inshallah when you move on to life, that you'll take the right path, inshallah. Because high school it's very important. Sometimes you think it's not such a big deal, but it's molding the beginning of your life. Alright, assalamu alaikum. Alright, what I'm going to say might get some of the sisters upset, but it's just because I'm saying my side of the story, one-sided, what I know, what I've experienced, and probably what the brothers have experienced. Is that, those of you who are in high school, the guys, can you listen to me for a minute? Like I was saying, in the first part of the high school, you go in groups, right? Just like the sister, if a sister came up and spoke, she'd tell another side, which would complement one another. But this is just because I'm a brother, I'm just going to say the one side that I know of. So you guys know, right, whenever you're in the cafeteria, or whenever you're talking with the friends, mashallah, you probably, don't say anything, but whenever this topic comes up all the time, they just have one thing on their minds. Am I correct? And if I'm saying something wrong, if one of you disagrees with me and has the courage to, it should be no problem to come up to the microphone. But if you disagree with me, then feel free to come up to the microphone. Because there's only one thing on these people's mind. I'm talking about the non-Muslims, and all they talk about is the girls and sex, and even more than alcohol. That's all they talk about. This and that. They have disgusting minds. And I remember even a lot of times in high school, I'd just be like, these people, when the Quran says, and we reduced you, we خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ. We made you in the best of forms, and then we lowered you to the lowest of mankind, that's what human beings are. And like what Ahmad Sakr was saying, at this age, you're lower than animals. And that's so specific to this age group of, especially the non-Muslims. I mean, I'm just telling the sisters that never trust any of these boys that are in the high school with you. You think, you know, oh, so-and-so is being nice to me. That's so nice of them. That's so sweet, whatever. Of course, maybe you don't have, you know, bad intentions or whatever, but you know what? He does. And a lot of you are not going to agree with me because I've talked to some of you sisters and you just say, oh, no, you're crazy, you're a fanatic, whatever. But I'm telling you honestly, and if any of the brothers think that, you know, hey, I have this friend and, you know, he thinks otherwise and, oh, okay, he's like an isolated instance, he's like the 0.5% or whatever, or even less than that, you know, come up here and correct me, but that's the way I look at it, and that's the way it is. Assalamu alaikum.